Welcome to 2021. And this may look kind of weird, me talking and Delfino on screen, but it's called a Del Talk Takeover because we've been hearing all about this incredible human being this last year. He's been highlighting some of the greats of the industry. We've got Barry Habib and Josh Pitts and Glenn Stearns, of course. And hey, I even made an appearance on there. It's a great place to be to hear about what's happening in the industry from someone who really knows the industry. I'm talking about Delfino Aguilar. Delfino, I am here to take over. And today it's all about you, my friend. How's it feel to be in the hot seat on Del Talk?
Thank you, Mindy. It's a little weird. We were talking about it earlier. It's a little weird. I like to ask the questions and highlight these people. So it's all of our friends that have joined, and it's a little weird, but thank you. Thank you for being a part of it today. I appreciate it.
Well, the thing is, you are an industry legend and people want to hear from you. And there's a reason for your success. And it starts way back. And what I think would be kind of nice is to get to know a little bit of you. And then we'll kind of go into the culture we're in right now and how that success is following you and how you're creating it. And then find out what your predictions and your thoughts are for the coming year. Because, we're at the beginning, we're starting new. This is going to be the first full year of Kind. And this train is off to a really good start.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm excited. I mean, we were talking about our call that we had earlier today about what we did in 2020. And even though it's been a challenging year for a lot of people, it was a great year for us to launch Kind, and it's been good.
Some people just shake their heads because you're right. 2020 was I'm so thankful 2020 is literally hindsight because that is a year that many people would like to forget, but I'd have to say with you and the Kind Lending team, we have made some record things happen, opening a business in the middle of a pandemic and having the success we did and attracting some of the rock star people that are on board that we call Kind ambassadors. That's what our people are, Kind ambassadors, because we really are creating a culture. And can we just start with you, Delfino? Let's get to know a little bit about you, the man, the myth, the legend, who you are. I mean, you grew up, where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I'm lucky. I've been born and raised in San Diego. Okay, so I born and raised in San Diego. I still never left San Diego, so I'm really trying here in San Diego. My family and friends live here. One of my brothers recently moved to St. Louis, and that was like a big deal, right? Like if his moving to St. Louis, he took another job there. Yeah, so I was blessed to start my career, first of all, with Wells Fargo in the mortgage industry in 2001. I was in operations in their home equity department. From there, I moved over to sales at Wells Fargo, and a lot of my good friends were there. That's when I met one of my biggest mentors, Melissa Armstrong, that I definitely need to talk about her later too. But from there, we had an opportunity to come to our previous lender, Stearns, and from there, I've been blessed again with the great people. And funny fact that when I left Wells, because our group was really tight at Wells Fargo. I never thought that I would find another family like I did at Stearns, and we did. And some of the people that we work with now that chose to come to it's a family atmosphere. It really is. Yeah, and that's why people decided to come. And I think all of that, Mindy, I've been blessed, not only being able to grow my career in one city, being in sales, and then being able to do what I do now and being with you guys and being with everyone has been a true blessing for me here.
Delfino, a lot of people say that you have some sort of secret sauce because you really, you came over to Stearns and you were all of a sudden like number one after such a short amount of time and have really moved up the ranks. What is the key to your success? Is it an attitude? Is it a belief? Is it a position? What do you think it is? Is it mentors? Is it your environment? Or what do you think is the secret to your success?
Yeah, I think it's all those things. I think being surrounded with really good mentors is really important. Okay. Like I keep on using the word blessed. I really do feel that way, that I've been really blessed with some really good people to take me under their wings as I grew my career. I think part of that too was, when you go into a new company, as we came into Stearns, the whole atmosphere was, how can I help you? What can we do to help you grow? And I think being a part of that is really what helped me propel my career, and the strength of our operations team too is really what helped me also. I mean,
You kicked on that. At Stearns, it was, I can help you. That was something that Glenn implemented when he branded the company with his name. And he decided, when people answer the phone, you want to put people in a mindset that says, I can help you and I will. And it actually is one step towards helping people get what they need by having that kind of a greeting. And so when you came on, I think you're right. The culture was something that you really flourish in a culture that is available for that kind of support. And you mentioned mentors, because I know Melissa Armstrong was a big factor in your success at Stearns and even now. So talk a little bit about the mentor relationship between you and Melissa.
Yeah, I think like anything else, I was really lucky to have her as part of it. You know, she did mold the way we go. And I've been blessed with other mentors throughout my career, but Melissa and I really had that bond of, hey, listen, if you want to set goals in your career, and not even a number goal, not a monetarily goal, just a goal that you want to strive to do, whatever it is, you really got to put it out there. You got to put it out there in the atmosphere to make sure that everybody around you knows what your goals are as well too. And she was a stickler on data. She was a stickler on the numbers don't lie. She was a stickler on being honest and having integrity when you deal with brokers, with everybody around you. She was very fair as well. And all those things I took with me, you know, every little thing. She would be in meetings. She would say, you know, remember this if this happens, and things like that. And that's what we're trying to do here, is really build an environment that's nurturing, that's caring, that's, you know, kind. We're going to talk about that as well too. But that mentorship piece is extremely important in anybody's career and in life. I mean, Glenn is a huge mentor to a lot of different people as well too, right? It's funny that our president, he is. And, you know, Yvonne the same way, our president, you know, and there's a lot of similarities with Melissa and them as well too. And I think all of that has really helped people, especially me, throughout my career for sure. And I think that's, you know, our industry, nobody really comes out of college and says, hey, I want to be a loan officer. They might, right?
Right.
Like they might say, I'm going to come out of college and be a mortgage broker and a loan officer. Sometimes that happens, but, you know, it's very rare. You know, usually you fall into the mortgage industry because you know someone or your family's in it, things like that. And I think that's one of the things that we want to, how do we make more brokers? How do we make more people in the mortgage industry? And that's, you know, being a mentor, pulling more good people into the industry, I think is extremely important as well.
You know, Glenn has always operated under that guise. Mentorship is everything. He has always in his life surrounded himself with mentors, people that were more successful. And part of the principles for what he operates under is that he likes to hire people that are smarter than him. Well, look at you. Here you are. People that know more about what they're doing than he does, because I think that puts your ego aside and says, hey, I'm willing to put people around me that know more, that can make me better and help me rise up. And I think that's something that is one of the cornerstones of his principles. I mean, we laugh, we say, you know, Delfino doesn't have an ego, but I think you have to have some sense of confidence in this business. And tell me about that, like how you feel about your level of confidence in what you're doing and what you bring to the table.
Yeah, no, I think that's a kind of a good question, but kind of hard to answer, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but I'm extremely competitive, right? And that you have to be part of it if you're in sales. I think that, you know, every loan out there is mine, right? That's the mentality that I ever thought of. But I think as far as like really having an ego and in addressing that, I think that it's just part of having a confidence in a belief in what you're doing and who you are. Right. So it's very easy for someone to say, you know, I don't have a personal thought on something, or I don't believe in that certain way. If you're working somewhere, right? Like you don't sell the same way. You don't have that same strength in what you're selling. When you're behind a movement, when you're behind something, you're so confident about it. And you know, not only it's the best decision for the people working with you, but it's also the best decision for that customer to work with you. That really drives me. That really drives the AEs that are with us right now. I think you have to be confident. You have to be confident what you're talking about. You have to know the industry and things like that. But honestly, Mindy, having that core belief of where you work and what you're doing, and it's not really, I don't say work, but really what you're doing every day. Because I spend more time with the people here at Kind, you know, all of us working, than sometimes our own families, right? Like we're putting so much time. And so you have to have that edge. You have to have that belief that what you're doing is the best option. And it really is. And I think that's what, like, you know, we go through, it's a new company, right? We're going through growth. We're going through different growth. We grow quickly last year, very fast.
Very fast. We broke some big records for being open in a small amount of time that we were.
We did. And some of that we have hiccups. And thank you to all of our pioneer brokers, right? That went with us through the hiccups. But I think
thank you for being
yeah,
there.
yeah, they did, and they're a big part. So thank you to the brokers. But I think that what we're really striving here is to have that. We really do believe, and we really do believe we're going to be the best option in mortgage banking lending, and having that belief is what's driving us.
Tell me something. Why do you think the environment we're in is so good for people coming on board? What is it that makes this such a unique place?
Yeah. And I thank you for asking that, because I think that's a big thing that people ask. I think the number one thing is people always say, "Hey, is what you guys putting out there really true?" And I'm like, first of all, it is. It is, right? And they can talk to anybody that's here, right? That's come through here. This is a great place to be at because it's inclusive. You really have a foot when you come into this door, the sky's the limit for anybody, right?
Mhm.
We're growing so fast. We have over 250 employees in less than 6 months. Natalie and Chrissy and Yvonne, everybody's done an awesome job hiring. We have 17 AEs. Like, the sky's the limit here, right? And your voice really, truly matters. Like, we have a council for account executives. There's been some changes. We just had a big change today that somebody mentioned, "Hey, I noticed this. Can you guys do this better?" Talk to credit committee. It was all done within a matter of 3 hours, right? And it was a big change. And all that is happening because we're new, because we're growing. But really, that nurturing, kind environment is really what the industry needs, and quite frankly, in the world. Like, we talk about that, right? And I think that's what's going to separate us from everybody else. We all, like, I think somebody, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and she said, you can go to a Costco and you can buy a plant somewhere, right? It can be the best plant ever. But if you don't take it somewhere, take it home, give it some water, get some sunlight, take care of it, that plant will die, right? And it won't grow, and it won't be great, right? So I think
Shows you
that
how important culture and environment is
it is.
to
Yeah, it
allow
is.
people to grow. And you mentioned we've even had a lot of promotions and people moving up already in the short amount of
Yeah.
time, because I believe, and I think you agree with me, that the environment at Kind is such that we really try to find people find their best selves. Like,
Yeah.
we really encourage that. There's no ceiling to how far you can go. If you want to grow and if you want to move up and you want to move on, there's a very supportive network here to do that.
Yeah, there
Do you
is.
agree with that?
I do agree with that. And I think, we have, that's just part of the culture that we do here, right? Like, if somebody wants to move up, or somebody shows initiative to do that, right? You have to
Right.
show initiative to do that, right? Raise your hand, talk about that, but you have the support system to do that. How can we get you there? What's your plan? What tools do you need to succeed? What do you need from us to help you
Right.
get there? And I think that's extremely important, especially in a company that's growing so quickly. Because, Mindy, we're, like we mentioned earlier, we're going quickly, right? Your job is one of your major jobs, right, is to welcome everybody, right? And I
I
think
know there are so many today.
there's so like this week, today was a crazy day, right? Like, how many people we hired today, right? So there's just a lot going on at all times.
Yeah, I think what's fun too, and I have to say that, um, attested to my husband, Glenn, who I'm obviously biased and a big fan of, but he really does know how to spot good talent and good people. And he really has always allowed people like yourself to find where you fit the best in that space, to walk the walk, talk the talk, be your best self in that environment. And not only that, it's a very open door policy. Like you said, we take feedback, we take a criticism, we grow from criticism. If we're not doing it right, then we need to figure out how to do it. And just patting ourselves on the back all the time does not lend to growth and change and creating what we want to create. So I think there's a very open-minded attitude that comes from all of management too. The doors are open. You're free to speak. You're free to have ideas. No ideas are turned down or discounted because, hey, something might just be implemented and create a whole new way of doing things. And that's what we can do, is we can grow. I think that's part of it, is making it grow. And you're part of that. You're watering. You're the plant keeper, or what do you call it? You're the one with we got green thumbs over here. We're nurturing and growing everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And that's funny you say about Glenn, because I had somebody that we recently hired, and he reached out to them, and he's like, "Hey, tell us how we can be better." And I think one of the things recently is that person gave us some feedback that we're like, okay, you know what, we didn't think about it that way. And she's like, I was kind of, in my previous place, I was kind of afraid to speak up a little bit. And by Glenn calling me and saying, "Hey, we need your feedback, you're making us better," it changed the way she thought. She gave us like 4 or 5 great ideas, 2 of them already implemented. And I think that's really the culture that we're trying to build. Like, it's not fake, it's real, right? And not only that, but like the numbers that we're doing because of that, right? It's not, it's not just like this, oh, we're being kind. Yes, we're being kind, but because of that, there's been a lot of things that are coming out of that, especially production.
So talk a little bit about what you foresee for the year ahead. 2021 is here. What do you see with the growth, and what kind of things are happening at Kind, and what are the goals that you are setting for yourself?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of goals. We're building our team. I think as we build, 2021 is going to be a big growth year for us. Okay, here at Kind Lending. So, Mindy, we had a lot of AEs apply, which we're getting to as quickly as possible, right? We want to make sure we have capacity for them to maintain our great turn times that we have now. So growing our sales team this year is going to be critical. Sales team and brokers. We plan to work with a lot of brokers now. We're working with a lot of them now. We hope to work with more in the next couple of years. And we're really building on that in 2021. I think as the market grows, we're going to grow specifically because as the market increases, like home values in October were the highest they've been in 14 years, specifically in San Diego, Seattle, and Phoenix, right? Those were big areas with a lot of home value growth. We're going to be growing as well. I don't think we're going to stop ever hiring here. I think that no matter what the market does, our projection is to go up, right? Because we don't have a big machine yet, right? So we have nowhere but to move up. I think rates are going to stay steady throughout the year, right? I think the pandemic is definitely influencing what's happening in the markets for sure. My heart goes out to all the people that are self-employed, restaurant owners.
Oh, it's a tough time for a lot of people.
Yeah, tough time for them. And my heart goes out to my friends in that business as well. So I know that how tough times are right now. So we hope that, things lighten up a little bit in that area here in California and all over the country. But I think next year is going to be a great year. I'm excited for that. I'm super excited for that. I think that, the sky's the limit for here us at Kind Lending. And I think, there's not a better time. I always say this with Aaron on Rally Time, but I don't know if there's been a better time for us to be in the mortgage industry for sure.
It's a great time. And you touched on the fact that we are a little smaller. So when that market shift does go, Glenna said this all the time, we aren't so big that we're going to have to like offload. We're going to continue to hire, which is exciting. We're in a really sweet spot. Can you talk a little about and touch on the client experience for brokers here with Kind Lending?
Yeah, definitely.
How I think that is going to continue to be a big aspect of our success.
It is. And our brokers have been our biggest, biggest key to our success, right? The customers that have been our kind of quote unquote pioneer brokers have been awesome. Their feedback has been critical to us. Like if they say, Del, that button needs to be moved here, because let me tell you why, when I look at it this way, that condition button needs to be moved there. That has been critical to us over the last couple of months. And they're kind of helping us as we go into our new system here the next couple of weeks. We're excited about that. And their feedback has been instrumental on making that experience for them the best, right? Mindy, our turn times have never gone past 45 days for refinance, right? So like even when we were past even the busiest times, we had a little bit of hiccup in closing, but we're still really good in turn times based on industry standards,
Wow.
And so even now with our turn times, their voice is extremely important. So any brokers watching this, please make sure you let your AEs know if you think we can do better with the system. Please.
Yes, be open. Like you brokers are shaping this company. You are really key in helping this company become the best it can be.
Right.
We want to be the best for you. That's our goal. So keep that in mind. And like I said, anything is open. All suggestions are open.
Yes.
Let's go before we start winding down. Talk about the Kind movement itself and what that means to you specifically, because you feel you're seeing it on the cover of Time magazine. There are movies about it. There are songs about it. I mean, Harry Styles just did a song about kindness. I mean, we've got it in the media, and it's the new word. We're right in the sweet spot of this Kind movement. What does that mean to you and for this company?
That the being kind to me means so many different things, right? But for me specifically is being, for what I think humility is a big part of being kind. Okay. Being able to be like an open door policy, being able to kind of say, let me hear your opinion more. How can I hear? Because a lot of times people are like, no, I'm set in my ways. Like we've done it this way, or I believe this forever. But I think the world needs to be a lot more open. And I think giving feedback and letting other people have an opinion and being humble about that is a key to being kind. And that's one of the things that I look at with my team. That's what I look at with the salespeople. That's what I look at with operations is really giving that humility, right? Like I'm humble. I want your opinion. Share it with me, whatever it is. And I think a lot of people, when you're selling to someone, or selling to a broker or anything else, anything in life, it's like, you need this, right? You should have this. But really it's, what do you need? How
Right.
can I
Ask and listen. I think
ask and listen? And that's part of it as well. And I think all those things is what I consider to be kind. And this, I think it's great, right? I think imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yes.
But Mindy, other companies have rolled out people like you, right?
Hey,
So
CKO, OG.
OG,
She's trying to
right?
the original.
OG,
I was really excited for that when Glenn asked me about that. I was very excited because that's my life. My parents are very kind people. I've been grown up in a very kind and nurturing environment. So, what I do love is that we call our employees, we call them family, first of all, because this is like a big family, because what you said earlier is, yes, you're spending most of your time talking to, dealing with, managing and working with these people. And this is your family. And we call everyone kind ambassadors. And I think it's important that mindset is instilled in everybody, that they really are an ambassador for the brand and for the company. And I had an employee say, yeah, I was getting upset about something the other day, and I wanted to call and just go, but I realized this is kind lending, and I am a kind ambassador. And it really actually switched their mindset to reapproach the situation from another perspective. And how do you empower your team to keep that kind movement at the top of your mind?
I mean, the kind movement is critical. We talk about it on almost all of our calls, right? Like, and I think to tell my team to think about that this might sound silly, but I always tell them, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. It's a simple rule. Simple rule.
Very sage.
Keep it simple, right? Like, selling can't be that hard. Like, life is difficult at times, but you can do separate things to make the other person feel special and make the other person, give some of yourself to that person, right? And part of that is putting yourself in their shoes. You don't know what that other person is going through. You don't know what that client's going through. There's a lot of things going on right now. So what I tell my team is, before you make an assumption, before you make any kind of, hey, I need help with this, whatever, it's like, okay, how can we address that? First of all, let's talk about it. Second, what are some things that you can be if you're in that person's shoes, right? Like, how could we handle that situation differently? What can we do better for them? What did we learn from it? And that's honestly what I keep that in our team's forefront every day, especially when dealing with our customers, right? Because our customers are dealing with purchase closings. They're dealing with people on vacation. We just went through 2 months of holidays, right? So refinances, we're closing, things like that. I was interviewing Barry Habib earlier this year, and earlier last year. Last year, yeah. And he said that one of the things is setting expectations with people was big with wholesalers. And I think that's another big thing that I keep that in the forefront with my team as well, right? You drive that kindness, you drive that by setting correct expectations. People don't like surprises all the time, right? So I think that's why we keep that in the forefront with our customers and keep that kindness and keep that going with them as well.
Well, I think you are doing a fantastic job of representing the brand. You're like the chief kind ambassador in this organization. And it really, I think there's so much room for growth. And with the attitude, I think all businesses can adapt this idea. I think people are over the old world rule where it's like what management says goes, and we know best. And I think we're going to see a lot more in the business world all over, not just in the mortgage space, but many other spaces where, the employees, we call our employees our best assets. I mean, people before profits. And because you have nothing if you focus on profits. I mean, profits will come when the culture is healthy. And like you said, you bring that tree home. You could bring a beautiful tree home, but if it isn't nurtured and it isn't given light and sun and water and nutrients and what it needs to grow, it will die. And that's the part of this movement and what we're creating here at Kind, that we want people to grow and become the best they can be. So it's really, this is a bigger responsibility than just what we're doing at Kind Lending. Kindness helps all of us be better. And we all need to have a top of mind idea to treat other people better. Listen before we speak. And one of the greatest sage pieces of advice I had heard once is, in any situation, whether it's in business, in sales, in a marriage, in children, in anything, is seek to understand rather than to be understood.
Yeah.
So if you seek to understand rather than to be understood, you learn so much more, and you keep your ears open for listening. And I think you've been such a integral part of the success of Kind Lending and where we're going with this mantra. I'm so happy you're part of this team, Delfino.
Thank you, Mindy. I really do. I really take. This is fun with what we're doing. I really do feel that we're changing, like, the mortgage industry, just from the people I talk to, but I think more importantly, it is a big responsibility. Like you mentioned, it is a responsibility to change the way we do business and the way kind of the industry does business. And hopefully we change a little bit of the world at the same time doing this, right? And I think it is a big responsibility. I have 4 kids, as you know, that keep us real busy. And I think when we look at this kind of stuff, it's kind of like, okay, what do we want to do and show our kids moving forward? Right? And so I think it's fun. This is a great. Thank you guys for the opportunity. It's been a blast. I'm excited for 2021. Like, I can't wait. I see the girls in the background on the bottom there looking excited as well too for us, giving us a high five. So I'm excited about that. But we have a whole team helping us here, which is awesome.
It is. It's amazing. And we appreciate all you've been doing. And you know what? Hey, we're out there. We're hiring. We want a lot of people to join the Kind movement. Become a Kind ambassador. You become part of what we're doing, because there's a lot of room here, and we are here to support and help you grow. And Delfino, of course, Del Talk continues in 2021. There'll be a lot of exciting guests, a lot of exciting interviews. Now we've gotten to know a little bit about you. I know you're a barbecue guy. You got a green egg, right? You love to do barbecue.
I do have a green egg. Yes, I do.
No Underdog barbecue sauce on there yet? Have you tried it out?
Yes, I sent Glenn a picture of me and my new hat that he gave me, for his birthday. So that was fun. Yeah, no, I'm excited. We are hiring. We're hiring every type of position here at Kind Lending, from registration to shipping, everything, compliance, sales as well too. We're looking for great people at all times. So thank you, Mindy, for that, for this time today, for sure.
Oh my gosh. And so you can catch this on YouTube. Where else? We've got you on LinkedIn. You're on YouTube, Instagram, Kind Lending, and then they can, where can we follow you, Delfino? Where can we find you?
Yeah. So LinkedIn, obviously I'm active on LinkedIn. We really do a good job on that. I have a great marketing team that helps us with that. Instagram too, The Real Delfino, on Instagram as well is on there. The Real Delfino Aguilar, I think, is what we came up with, which is awesome. And I think, there's a lot of different platforms, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and Instagram, as we mentioned too. And also our website, kindlending.com. Make sure you go on there too. It has a lot of information about our company. As we're growing, you can actually submit your resume through there as well. And has a lot of good things about Glenn. And then Glenn's new show, right, Mindy? So that's when is that?
Yeah, that'll be premiering all over the next couple of months here. That'll be Undercover Billionaire Comeback City. You can catch our fearless leader and founder on there, creating more opportunities in a COVID world, going into small businesses and just doing more of what he does best, and finding good people and making things happen. He's really good. So also don't forget Facebook. And then I know everybody's been waiting, Delfino. Everybody wants to know, when is Delfino going to do a TikTok?
A TikTok. Oh my God. There is a TikTok out there that I haven't sent to anybody, because it's that one where they flip a switch. So it's me and my daughter dancing, and then we switch clothes or something like that. Flip a switch. Yeah. But
okay, are you gonna post it? Have you posted it?
Public, but I do. TikTok is, I guess, we have to look at quickly on, and I see everybody laughing at that, so it's awesome. So yeah, I'm excited.
We will see you. That is the challenge. We're gonna make you TikTok famous. That's a thing now. So be looking for Kind Lending and Delfino Aguilar on TikTok, and always get him here on Del Talk. This has been a little reversal of the talk, as we've been talking to Del, and Del has been doing some of the talking, because today it's been all about him, and we appreciate so much getting to know a little about you and your background. Thank you for your support. Any final words?
No, just thank you. I'm excited for 2021, and thank you very much. This has been different for me. I usually ask the question, so thank you, Mindy. It's been great.
We got you. Thanks, Del. Okay, peace out. This has been another episode of Del Talk. We'll see you next time, or he will, that is. Take care.